Alright, good afternoon everybody. Today I'm going to show you kCura's Relativity. Relativity is a web-based platform for reviewing legal documents. It runs over the HTTPS protocol and 128-bit secured socket layer. This is the same encryption that banks and financial institutions use to host personal data online. A few more notes about security. Relativity requires strong passwords including mixed cases, letters, numbers, and symbols. With all the content being viewed in native file viewer or TIFF image view, everything is streamed directly from the server into the memory of the local machine. Nothing is written to the temporary internet cache directory or local hard drive. We can also lock down reviewers by local IP address. For example, if you have a bunch of contract attorneys who would only be able to hit Relativity on site, but you also have a bunch of partners who need to hit Relativity anywhere with an internet connection, Relativity can provide that level of security. Last thing on security. Relativity provides two-factor authentication. If you have an enterprise installation Relativity, it even integrates with Active Directory to provide single sign-on. Okay, before I log in, does anybody have any questions about security? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and log into Relativity as a power user with lots of bells and whistles turned on. And I'll be showing you the end-user functions such as reviewing native files, coding them, redacting, tagging, plus browsing and searching as well. At the end of the demo, I will log back in as a more basic reviewer and show you exactly how Relativity can slim down to meet the needs of the more contracted view or basic reviewer. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Here I'm logged in as Wilkerson and Reed. When I log into Relativity, I'm presented with workspaces, which is a list of the repositories that the end user has access to. The security model in Relativity is highly granular, which allows us to grant or deny rights to user groups from anything as large as a case and all the documents within it to something small as an individual document. If you have coding data or metadata about that document, annotation layers or redactions on the document, or even features of the application. There's no administrative or end user interface with Relativity. It's one seamless application that we simply grant or deny permissions to our users based on what they need to do to be efficient with the system and to do their job. This allows the firm the ability to control their own destiny with respect to the administrative features. For example, if you have the ability to add new coding forms or new options of the coding form, you can also run productions within Relativity, even if you're using Relativity through a hosted instance. This allows you the same level of control that you would only have with an in-house installation. Okay, let me catch my breath. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? Alright, here I'm going to go ahead and log into the salt versus pepper demo case. Relativity deploys a tab-based system, a tab-based metaphor for organizing different sections of the application. By default, I'm bounced to the Documents tab. Where the bulk of the review time is done. If I have access to more administrative features or integrated product suite, for example, there would be more tabs across the top. When I don't have these permissions, the tabs simply disappear from the context so that I'm not even aware that they exist. This is a persistent idea within Relativity. Basically, when the end user does not have permission to something, we're not going to show them grayed out options. Instead, we're simply going to remove the options entirely so that they're not even aware that they exist. Does anybody have any questions about the tab? Okay, we find that you can have new reviewers up and being productive in Relativity in as little as 10 to 15 minutes of training by presenting them only with the options that they need to be efficient in the system to do their job. Before we move on to the document section, does anybody have any questions?